All right, everyone's coming on. We're going to give you guys all a minute while Sarah and I talk like we're on our own podcast. So there's a chat, just so y'all know. Make sure you change it from host and panelists to everyone so that everyone can see your comments. We want you guys asking questions, talking throughout this. Welcome to our webinar today. My name is Jen Lyles. I'm Executive Director of Beauty Schools Marketing Group. Y'all will know us by our top product, Beauty Schools Directory. Schools all around the country buy beauty school leads from us. And I am beyond privileged to share the stage with a former colleague and current best friend, Sarah Holmes. Welcome.
Thank you, Jen. I am so excited always to work with you, but more importantly with BSD, because you guys do have some great things other than just your leads. I work for Advanced 360 Education. We are a marketing company that helps beauty schools increase their enrollments through quality leads.
Awesome. And I know Advanced 360 well. I know Sarah well. Her and I used to work at a school together. And Sarah spent 12 years running an admissions and call center team for a multi-campus school. Her and I went on to build a training for admissions and marketing. And a lot of schools today continue to use our training and they're seeing lots of success. And so what we love doing is finding out what is going on in schools, right? And then being able to address that. So before we, jump in, and thank you, Amanda. Amanda from Aveda is on. I love Amanda. She's great. She's one of their executive admissions directors, and she's loving our banter back and forth. So let's keep this up a little bit as people are coming in. Sarah, what has TikTok made you buy lately?
Those pillow like slides.
You and the pillow slides. We are on different algorithms. Okay.
We are.
I'm not getting the pillow slides. You've been getting that for a while.
So, I'm married and I have a daughter. I'm like on divorcee TikTok for some reason. I don't know. So I'm getting like how to like contour so you look younger and like
wear the blush up over here. I love it.
So I bought a ton of pillow slides. I love them, but it's funny because, I travel a lot. So anytime I wear them outside of San Diego, everyone looks at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah,
I guess they're only here.
It's a California thing. I'll tell you what TikTok made.
I was going to say, what about you?
Skims, freaking Kim Kardashian. I was like anti-Skims. I'm like, I'm not going to buy something that sucks me into where I can't breathe. Turns out, yes, I will. And I went and bought more because I thought I needed to lose 20 pounds, Sarah. It turns out I just needed Skims. So it's fantastic.
And isn't that the thing though? It's like, about Skims, we knew about it, we heard about it, but when we are on TikTok and we see real people wearing them before and after, that's when we're like, okay, we can do this.
Yes, exactly. I love it. So guys, what we want to do really quick is a fun TikTok game. I don't know who here is on TikTok, but we're going to relate it to admissions because one of my favorite trends going on TikTok is the he's a 10 game. All right. So this is like where, a guy he's a 10, but he has an Android. He's a 3 at that point, right? If a green bubble comes up, he's maybe a 2.
Yeah.
That's case scenario. What's one for you?
I don't know. There's so many good ones, but I need to be super appropriate.
He's a 2, but he has a fire Spotify playlist.
I don't know. I can make my own playlist of 5.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. He's a 8, but he says Paschetti.
Oh.
That's a 4. Let's admissions it. Let's admissions it, Sarah. She's a 9, but she won't text back immediately.
Ooh, she's a 3.
Mm-hmm.
Speed to lead, whether you're calling, texting, emailing, it's so important. Get them while they're on that train of thought.
She's a 3, but she keeps amazing CRM notes.
A 10. For everybody, because marketing's happy, leadership's happy. We know what's going on. Ooh, someone wrote one in their chat.
We have a few.
Oh, that's amazing. They're a 10, but their parents won't sign on their FAFSA.
Oh, They quickly go down to a 2 for that one. I
Right.
love it.
Right.
Okay.
How about this?
What's up?
She's a 9, but she asked people, "Are you still interested?"
Ooh. She's a 5.
5. Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's not the worst thing, but like it's not great.
Yeah.
Come up with something orange. Guys, what we're going to be talking about today, thanks for playing along with us. We really suggest you play this with your own team because it can really get you thinking about things that maybe people think are normal or good in admissions, but they are terrible. And today what we're going to go over is something I'm really excited about, Sarah, because I get this question all the time. How do you turn a makeup lead or a nail lead, a small program lead, into a full program, a Cosmo or an SD? And there's a couple reasons why we wanted to address this topic today with our audience, okay? So for starters, a lot of kids come in and they just can't get financed, right, for a small program. Maybe they don't offer FAFSA for that, it's under 600 hours. So we for them to go to school, they have to apply for financial aid. So that's one of the reasons. Another reason is like a lot of schools just only have a Cosmo program. They only have an SD program. They don't have the option to put someone into, nails, a spa nail program or something like that. So that's another reason why we wanted to tackle this. Also with Beauty Schools Directory, people can choose multiple programs. Like they can choose barbering, right? They can say, I'm interested in makeup. And a lot of schools that offer Cosmo will take that because they want to.
I didn't even know that. That's awesome, Jen. I don't think I realized that.
Yeah. So we have lots of different programs you can choose from. And a lot of schools will say, I just want Cosmo. But I mean, even more will be like, I want all the things in between because these are really easy to try to, push to a bigger program. But the fact is, it's not easy. It's really hard to do. You have to be very skilled in admissions to take people who are coming in looking for a really short, quick 2-month makeup program and upsell them to a 12-month Cosmo program. So we're going to be going over a lot of that today. If you have questions, if y'all have your own advice, I want you to type it into the chat. We are all friends here. Sarah's West Coast, by the way, she lives in San Diego. So thanks for joining us. She just spent a month in Hawaii, so we kind of hate her still.
I'm back. I'm off the island time though.
And I live in Nashville, Tennessee, where we are having a record-breaking summer heat. I don't know if anyone else is having the same, but it's been brutal.
75 and beautiful.
Shut up. What did I? Shut up. Let's get into, before we talk about ways to convert these leads, let's talk about some actual issues and red flags and things that we don't want to do when we get like a makeup nail lead wanting a bigger program. Because there are some things that can happen, right, Sarah? So let's talk about some of those right now.
I think the biggest one is overpromising. If someone comes in and they just want to do makeup and we tell them, do cosmetology because you're going to learn hair in this and you're going to get a better job. You're going to make more money. Can't say any of that, right? Off limits. So don't overpromise because you're selling them on something that might not happen. So they're not going to be happy.
Yeah. What we also don't want is we never want to push someone to a program. I'm not just talking about a makeup lead. I'm talking about any lead. We never want to push someone to a program if we think they're going to drop. Like a school does not want drops. That is going to be bad. So let's not just, get everyone in here and be like, you totally need to do this program and you're totally overselling it. And you're saying, oh, there's tons of makeup in it, or there's tons of eyelash extensions, like where we're just trying to get an enrollment. That is not good for anyone. It's not good for you in admissions, and it's definitely not good for the school.
What we're talking about is educating your leads, right? Because they think they know that they want to do XYZ. And then you're just on autopilot. You're like, they requested information. This is what they checked. This is the box. This is what they want to do. And then you, as an admissions rep, never bring up that, hey, you understand you're going to do XYZ, which does not include this. So that's what we're trying to say. We're not telling you, hey, you got to make everybody do a program they don't want to do. No, we're going off of educating your leads.
Yes. So I love that Chelsea, who we love over there in
hey, Chelsea.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Chelsea's on, and she never misses a webinar. So we appreciate her being on. And she says that she hesitates to convince people to do a longer program that they're not passionate about, in fear that they'll drop the longer program. Exactly. And so we're actually going to be talking about some really great things you can say to leads, which is why I'm assuming most of you guys are on today. We are not here to say, nope, sorry, don't talk them into it. They're going to drop. I think there are some really strategic things you can say to leads. We're going to be getting into that on how to get them to enroll in those programs. But we do want to start with that disclaimer of some people will drop, and that's not what we're wanting. We're not wanting to promise any job or anything like that. We also don't want them jumping on Google reviews, Facebook reviews, and beating up your school because of this. So let's talk a little bit about some of those specialties, some of the things that people are requesting a lot these days. Okay. Eyelash extensions. That's a big one for beauty schools. People are really wanting eyelash extensions. Makeup is not new. The makeup, right, Sarah? Even back when you were working at a school, that was always one of the top things that people wanted.
Absolutely. Makeup was huge. I think, makeup has very much been glamorized with social media, right?
Yeah. So makeup, I would say even like braiding, hair extensions, emphasis on like ethnic hair, that has become an increasingly hot topic in the Cosmo world. And so the reason we bring this up is because anytime you're in admissions, you are gold. The key to really great education is admissions telling the director, this is what people are asking for. And you don't evolve your school, you do not evolve your programs without hearing what your consumer is asking for. And so, for example, Sarah, I think this is a perfect like example when you and I worked together at a school and people were asking for eyelash extensions.
Yeah.
And not just for SD. Like people who were like, yeah, I want to do hair, but I really want to do eyelash extensions. So they were taking the SD course when you knew they could have been a Cosmo enrollment. So what did you do?
So we were hearing this time and time again. And so was my team. But my team wasn't coming to me. So then I brought it up to the team. I was like, hey, is anybody getting requests for lash extensions? And all every day. I'm like, wait, every day? Oh yeah, at least once or twice a day. Okay. So what did I do? I went to my marketing director, Jen Lyles, and I said, Jen, what do we do to get lashes in this course? And then I let her kind of take the lead. She worked with the director of education. She worked with the owner, letting them know, like, here's a ROI on including this in the course.
So we didn't even increase that first year. We didn't even increase the cost of the course. We just said, and it wasn't even an add-on. It wasn't even a workshop. We just said, we're just going to add eyelash extensions to the Cosmo program. Because I knew on the marketing side, oh my gosh, I could instantly do a Facebook ad. I could instantly do a text blast that says, we just added eyelash extensions to the Cosmo course. Text back now, eyelash, if you want details. And everyone was like, oh my gosh, tell me, people were coming out of the woodwork for that. And so one of the powers of sitting in admissions is knowing what people are asking for. And so that's how you evolve. That's how schools do balayage. Like they do balayage because, that became this giant trend and people were getting it at the salons and people were saying, how do we introduce this into schools? We've got to start adding this to our coloring class. That's what you do. And so you want to get some of these makeup enrollments, some of these eyelash people into a bigger program, some hair extension people into a bigger program. You need to beef up your programs.
What's the saying, Jen? Sales is just value in advance or something. What is that?
Yes. Yeah. The
Okay.
difference between sales and closing is value in advance. And if you want to close, you need to let them know there is value in our program and this is new. And I will tell you, you know, Sarah, you and I used to do trainings on magic words you can use in admissions. Do you remember that one? Like the secret words that get people like brainwashed. And one of those words is new.
New.
Because everyone wants the newest. They want the newest
Latest
iPhone.
and greatest. Absolutely. We are offering this new lash extension course, you know, and it does. People were so excited. So I think it's really important if you're on this call and you're a director of education or a director of admissions, spend time, 30 minutes once a week, asking your team what they're hearing in admissions. You'll be shocked because some things we can't change, but some we can. And spending just 30 minutes a week, because these are the front line. They answer the phones. They talk to our leads. No one better to get ideas from than them.
And so let's talk then specifically, Sarah, about makeup, because I can tell you on the beauty schools directory side, makeup is a growing trend nationwide. In fact, we are getting so many leads that are not even choosing Cosmo and SD plus makeup. They're just choosing makeup. They're saying, I want to do makeup. And so what can schools do? You've got to, for your Cosmo and SD, you have got to beef it up with makeup.
Yep. Your SD and your Cosmo programs have to have a good makeup program in there. Not just, you know, a very beginner introductory. It needs to be an actual good makeup program where they're learning contour and they're learning all of that so they can walk away knowing that, yes, they could be a makeup artist, but they could also, you don't do hair, so many things.
Exactly. And so this is why I love like a small mom and pop school. And listen, if you're part of a bigger chain, cool. Glad you're here. Thanks for coming to the chat. But sometimes it can be hard to change programs because there's so much red tape. If you're a small school, you can do this overnight. You can easily call someone tomorrow. There are several makeup programs out there. I almost hate to like say one because there's a couple, so I don't want to like say one over the other. Yeah,
we love a lot of them. So
we love a lot of them, and quite frankly, we're not getting paid for it. So I'm not
quite frankly,
I'm not sponsored yet. So yes, yeah. So I would call tomorrow and start to find ways to beef up your program. And then Sarah, I know you can also add like a basic Cosmo and then a Cosmo plus makeup.
Yes. So I love giving people options. You know, someone, you know, very near and dear to me said that Wendy's created the triple burger just to sell more doubles, right? So if you look at that, you know, you think, okay, have a, yeah, isn't that great? Like, and it makes sense.
Great.
Google it. So you can have your introductory cosmetology, you can have your cosmetology and makeup, and then you can have like cosmetology, makeup, and like advanced skincare, microblading, if that's allowed in your state. So having all of these options, people want options to choose from. They want to feel like they're having it their way, you know?
And then when you worked at a school specifically, Sarah, that had a Cosmo and a Cosmo like 102, basically like Cosmo plus makeup, what was the percentage
of people who enrolled
of Cosmo versus Cosmo plus makeup?
Okay, so the plus makeup was like 90%. Why? Because they're already here. It's only another 4 weeks. It's only another X amount of dollars. Might as well do it. And it's something I'm interested in. It's a lot easier to get them to do it when they're already investing the time.
Yeah. And it was a juicy kit. Like
the kit is everything. Kit is everything to them. You know, telling someone that a $24,000 program, but then showing them that, and we could do a whole nother webinar on this, showing them what they're going to get in the kit, even if the kit's only valued $1,000 or $2,000, they're going to feel like they hit the jackpot because they get that stuff.
That's the thing with the makeup is that, yes, like the shears and the hot tools and the doll heads, all that stuff is great. But there's something about adding a makeup kit where it's like, you itemize every little piece and it's colorful and it's pretty. And like, that is what you want to play with. That's what's Christmas Day is the makeup.
Extra points if you have an example of a kit in your office that people can physically pick up, look at. I mean, you get extra points all day long.
So we want to beef up programs. I'm heading over to the chat. Hey, Anthony, glad you're on.
Hey,
Civicana's
Anthony.
on. Always,
Okay.
always good to see him. And I love that Brooke said, love the word new. It's like FOMO. You're absolutely right. Another word is just like revamped. We have revamped our Cosmo program. It now includes makeup, or it now includes eyelash extensions and makeup. So this is what we're wanting. We are wanting to beef up our programs. You're going to have a really hard time of cross-selling a lead into a larger program if your larger program is basic AF. Like, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
That's not
No,
popular.
it's true. Think of, you know, like the word basic, you know, our basic cosmetology program. Well, I'm not a basic girl. I'm not doing anything basic.
You are everything basic, but yeah, I know.
Well, I mean, I was thinking I was extra, but okay.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. You are extra. I love it. Absolutely. So we want to beef up these programs and workshops are good as well. I mean, if you're saying every 3 weeks, we're bringing in a guest speaker, we're doing a workshop. Here's the past workshops we've done this year. We've had one on braiding. We've had one on hair extensions. We've had one on, you know, whatever, smoky eyes, like, you know, that kind of thing can be good too. You don't necessarily have to bring in like another educator to teach this portion. You can have workshop people like on rotation.
Someone said something earlier, you know, about I don't want to talk people into something they don't want to do. And I can totally relate to that. I can appreciate that. It is my job to educate. Because let's be real, somebody who graduates with a cosmetology license is going to be more attractive on a resume than somebody who just did a 4-week, 3-week certificate program. It is what it is. I don't make the rules. Okay. So making sure you're educating them. If they're like, I hate hair, it's disgusting, like, I don't want to look at it. Okay, that's another story. But make sure you are telling them every angle of this.
Yeah, so let's jump into this whole licensing program and talking about some of the benefits to those, Sarah, because you bring up a point that I think people are not seeing the full picture. Okay, I'm going to use you as an example because
why not?
Because why not? Exactly, because why not? Sarah used to be blonde.
I wondered where you were going with this. Like, is it the Matthew story? Is it the Montana
this
story?
Is rehearsed. Right. Sarah used to be blonde. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, Sarah would look so much better as a brunette. And I remember just saying, like, you should be a brunette. And she was like, F you, I live in California. My blonde is amazing. I am never going, you know, I was like, okay, whatever. And then I remember like finding an app where you could virtually put on hair. And I was like, I just want you to see like the potential. Like you could look like this every day of the week. And then she was getting roots regularly. And it was just like talking about.
And it was COVID. It was COVID. So
it was during COVID. But it was like, it's the picture, it's us talking about it. And then you deciding, okay, I'm going to have a consultation with this person. And then when you became a brunette, you were like, I'm never going back.
Right.
I'm never going back. It is the same thing with leads. They don't know what they don't know, period. I love that your leads think they know everything they want to do. You'll know every cosmetologist lead comes in there and they're like, I want to own my own salon. Well, yeah, cool. Like I want $1 million, but like, you know, just because you want it doesn't mean it's going to happen overnight. And the fact is they're going to get in school and they're going to figure out other avenues for their career. And they're going to become passionate about that. But people always have grand ideas of what they want to do as a lead. They usually change their mind. And I really feel like just because someone says, I'm passionate about makeup, you can't just be like, oh, well, they'll never be a cosmetologist. They don't know what they don't know. This is up to you. This is the point of admissions. This is why y'all have a job. It is up to you to educate. So Sarah, let's talk about some of those benefits. Why is it so much better having a license? If you're in admissions, how are you telling a makeup lead that having a cosmetology license is going to be so much better for you than just going to school for 100 hours of makeup?
Let's talk about something you just brought up. 90% of the people come in and they say they want to own their own business. Okay, wonderful. Like I want you to have an amazing salon and spa and do great things. If you are just certified in makeup, but you own a salon that has facials and waxing and hair, you need to know how to do all those. That's your baby. That's your business. You don't want to put the knowledge of cutting and coloring into somebody else's hands. You need full ownership of that. So the first thing is, if somebody tells me that's what they want to do, I bring up that. Or what if someone calls in sick and you have a, a stylist who's booked 9 people? You don't want to cancel all those people and reschedule them. So then you can step in if need be.
That's the thing. I think that's really smart. What you said is that, okay, so my husband is in the restaurant business, Sarah, as you know, and a lot of people aren't in the restaurant business. They're lawyers, they're accountants, and then they open up a restaurant and it fails because they're like, turns out I knew nothing about running a freaking restaurant.
Right.
And it's the people who like started in the dish room, became a server, became a cook, became a manager, like worked themselves up. Those people are going to be far better off opening up a restaurant because they understand operations. It's the same thing with a salon. If you only know how to do makeup, you can't run a full service salon as successful as you could as if you had a license.
And you're leaving your fate in someone else's hands.
Yeah.
So, and again, this is not to sway them. This is just to inform them that, if it is your dream to own a 30-chair salon, but you only know how to do makeup, I think it'd be wise for you to do this. And then you make your own decision based on that.
Absolutely. I think that's great. So let's talk about also the Oh, go ahead.
I want to jump into a story. So when I was doing admissions for a beauty school, everybody who would come in would say they wanted to work at this place called the Golden Door. It's like a destination spot in San Diego. Oprah comes here. She spends a week. It's like a full service thing. So everybody around here wants to work at the Golden Door. So people were coming in, doing the aesthetics program, doing the nail program, makeup program. I want to work at the Golden Door. One day I was like, gosh, I wonder what the requirements are to work at the Golden Door. So I called them. And they said they only hire licensed cosmetologists. So their facials, their nails, their makeup, everything is done by a cosmetologist. That is information that my leads need to know. I didn't know that. So when someone came in and enrolled in nails and saying they wanted to work at the Golden Door, I did them a disservice because I didn't know that they needed to be cosmetologists. So you need to take the initiative and call around your town where people want to work and see what the requirements are.
I think that's great, Sarah. I mean, I remember, us talking, we had a friend that wanted to sell really great, like timeshares at this super top place. She's like, this is what I want to do. And then when she looked into it, she's like, oh my, I have to be a real estate agent.
Right, Jen. That's exactly the same thing as this, right?
It's the same thing is that like, you don't know what you don't know. And a lot of times that license is, especially in this beauty field, that is your degree. That is saying like, I'm a professional in this area. Yes, I want to concentrate just on eyelash extensions, or I do just want to do makeup, but I'm fully licensed. And that also looks so much better. Even if you're like freelancing too, there's nothing like having that degree, that license, that's yours forever. And so I really feel like we don't talk enough about this. We just, again, a lead comes in, we just take it at face value, and we don't do a good job ourselves educating them.
Another example, I'm in San Diego. LA is just like up the street. Everybody wants to do hair or makeup for the stars, right? They come in, they want to, be Kim Kardashian's makeup artist, which is all great. But if you call around to Warner Brothers Studios or the Ellen Show and you call around these places, they aren't hiring people who just did like a little makeup certificate program. They're hiring, again, people that are licensed, because if Kim Kardashian's hair person calls in sick, they need to slip in somebody to do the hair. So that's just another example. Again, I'm not persuading anybody to do anything they want to do. I'm just giving them the information up front.
Yep. And let's talk about financial aid.
Yeah. I mean, that's huge. I mean, obviously, the longer the program, the more financial aid they get. A lot of these smaller programs, depending on what state you're in, you can't qualify for financial aid. So if you're selling a $6,000, $7,000 makeup program, that's a big chunk of money that people don't have. And typically there's no payment plans and stuff like that. So if they add it to a program they're already interested in, they would apply and possibly be eligible for financial aid.
Yep.
Based on eligibility.
Yes, exactly. If they qualify, they can get financial aid. But that is important to talk about because, I mean, how many people can come in, Sarah, and pay cash for these smaller programs?
No.
Hardly anyone today, especially now.
Yeah, no, they just don't have that. So, again, it's like a win-win. You get financial aid, but you're also going to do something that's going to better your career and take you farther.
Yeah, exactly. I do want to talk a little bit about influencers.
Ooh, I love it.
These these TikTok stars, these YouTube people, these Instagram influencers, people are getting brand deals from legit companies out there now. That is how people are making money. And this is something that I talked about this in a webinar recently. I was like, first of all, why a school isn't adding a program that teaches you how to like do influencer deals is beyond me. Like, right?
Jen, that is gold.
I
Whoever's
know.
listening, take that idea. And
I've
run.
been saying this
That's
forever. I've
gold.
been saying this for 2 years. And then especially as TikTok, I was like, why aren't schools teaching people? Like, this is what they want to do. This is an actual career. You can make so much money off of brand deals.
And how many schools have we sat in where the owners are like, well, I'm not into TikTok, or I'm not, okay, it doesn't matter. Hate it, love it, whatever it is, it's here to stay. Just like with when I tell my husband he doesn't like to email. And I'm like, email's here to stay. So you got to get on board with email. You can't just write your pen pal anymore. This is the same. Micro influencers, that's all here to stay. So put your personal feelings inside.
Yeah.
And join you can't beat them, join them.
And if you are an influencer, if you want to be an influencer and you want to get those big brand deals with like a L'Oreal, do you think they're going to do a deal with you because you learned how to do makeup on YouTube? No, they're going to be looking for the license, period. They are professional companies and they want to partner with people who are professional. And so it's just like those protein powder people, like they are looking for nutritionists. They're looking for actual gym sharks, people who are in the gym, people who are personal trainers. That's who they want behind their brand. And it's the same thing in beauty. If you want to get brand deals, you need to have a license. You need to be formally trained. You need to say, I went to XYZ beauty school and I received like that. First of all, that's your email pitch. So these brands don't come after you. Oftentimes, I mean, sometimes they do if you're blowing up on your own. But if you have a smaller following that's still pretty significant, you're usually hunting these deals for yourself, right? And so when you're doing that, you're doing these pitch letters. And what are you going to say? What are you going to say? Like, I graduated from high school. I love YouTube and I learned how to do a smoky eye. Like, so go to school. Like, that's what they're going to tell you. When you can say like, I went and had formal training at this school and now I'm licensed and I've been behind the chair and now I'm focusing my career on freelance makeup and I love your products and my following loves your products and I would love a deal. Like, that's how you do it. And this is something I think there is a growing trend of influencers who need to be trained professionally. And some of the big ones out there, Sarah, that they are. They they went to beauty school.
And you bring up such an amazing point, Jen, in the era of YouTube and self-taught. Everything self-taught. Oh, I'm a self-taught this, I'm a self-taught that. Companies want professional, actual training.
Yeah.
Because who knows what person you watch train you. Such a good point. They want to see your certificates and your licenses.
I think that's great. Yeah. And I really wish more schools would be talking about this. I feel like they're not, just because they don't know how to address the subject, but I really think this is the future of the type of people that are going to be enrolling in our school. Y'all, we're not going to be enrolling dummies who have never held on to a pair of shears. We're going to be enrolling people, I would say, in 10 years who already know how to do haircuts better than some of your teachers and who can do way better makeup looks than half of your educators.
Yep.
Because of YouTube and because of TikTok. So we need to make sure our education matches that.
Right. And you need to look the part, right? I know that's hard to say, but you really do. If you're going to be on videos on TikTok all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Another selling point to me is just talking about the overall evolution of someone. So, when someone comes in as a makeup lead, that's great. but they don't know what they don't know. They might be really passionate or really good about coloring hair, and they have no idea. And this really, to me, this is the magic of, this is why people go to four-year schools, right? When they don't want to. Their parents are like, just go and figure it out. Take those first 2 years of general ed studies, try everything. You know,
Figure it
Gary,
out. Yep.
that's what everyone, just try everything. Gary Vaynerchuk, who's like, I'm obsessed with, you know, I'm a big Gary Vee fan. Gary Vee says that, just try everything. If you're under 40, try everything. Do 200 different things and find different things you're passionate about. You can't be just passionate about one thing. And I think that's something that is fair for admissions to say to someone who comes in.
It is. I mean, look at me. When I was 18, I thought, you know, I'm going to be a professional cheerleader. Well, that didn't work out. So here I am. But, you know, I think it's very common for someone to come in, to Chelsea's point, like, I don't want to do hair. That's this and that. Okay, let's talk through it. And I will bring up to them, you know, we change our thoughts change, our likes change. It's so true, Jen. Great point. You do. You just go for the experience. You don't really know what you're doing. You're just figuring it out as you go.
And I think there are ways you can, you know, you can record testimonials from people who even said, like, I came in wanting to do this.
Love it.
And it turns out I really loved this. This became my niche. Like, I love doing men's cuts, so much so that I came back for the barbering crossover program so I could learn how to shave. And now I just want to do men's cuts. Like, you come in thinking you're going to do a certain thing, right? I went to school to be a journalist. Like, my degree is in broadcast journalism. I became a reporter for CBS. And within like a year, I was like, I flipping hate this job. Like, this is awful. And I had to make a switch. You always think you know what you're going to do. And even just sharing personal stories like that, or having, you know, a lead see that story or watch a short video. I wish that we were bolder with leads.
I bet you were, Anthony Civitano. I love it. He was great with acrylic leads. So one thing I want to bring up, we haven't even talked about SE and massage and how, so I'm a licensed esthetician, right? I get facials pretty regularly. I can tell within the first 20 seconds of getting a facial if someone is a massage therapist as well, dual licensed. You want to know why? By their touch, because they're actually firmly rubbing. They know the spots. So that's a whole other thing we can talk about. But estheticians, you know, doing massage is huge. That just gives you so much more employability.
I think that's great. I was just laughing because, you know me, I think about things randomly. We got those massages in Vegas and you had that terrible massage with that girl with the glove and she was just like barely touching you. And you were like, that was the worst massage of my life.
She did not have great training. Thank you, Chelsea. This is virtual. If you can't tell, I'm renovating my house. So I have a virtual background because I'm like in the corner. So
you can tell when Sarah stands up, she goes away. I love it. So funny. No, I think these are all really great points. I really, you know, just to recap some of the major things, I think the employability part, Sarah, is not to be underlooked. You know, what you said about calling around, I think that's great. I want to ask you, Sarah, how do you get admissions to be bolder and say some of these things and not be so standoffish and taking leads for what they say? Like, how do you empower your team to be bolder?
So if they feel like scared or oh, I don't want to do that, that's their own insecurity. That's something within them. Then they don't believe what they're selling. Bottom line. So I'm not doing a great job. Wow, I have a team who is scared to bring this up because it's going to better the lead. So I have to do a better job as their leader, educating them why this is so beneficial. Once they're confident and they're comfortable, it'll come off so easily.
I think that's for every program too. Like, if your conversion rates as a whole are like under 10% and your people just are not asking for the sale, you know, on the, you know, during the tour, there's a confidence problem there that people need to work on. And if you believe in the product, you are naturally just going to sell the crap out of it.
Exactly. You know, that's why we were so good at what we did, because we believed in it. We loved it. So it just came off naturally. It wasn't hard. It wasn't pushed. So if you have team members in admissions who you're like, gosh, they just don't really seem to close a lead, it's not really sales when you're just educating them about something you're so passionate about. So see what within them are they not feeling comfortable with. And this is a great conversation. Maybe they'll say, you know, I haven't heard great things about this educator in this classroom. Great. Let's lean into that and talk about that and see how we can fix that.
I want to ask you, Sarah, about first outreach. You get a lead.
Okay.
On the BSD form, maybe they've indicated that they want to do makeup. They were matched with your Cosmo program. You get the lead, it comes into the system, and you're about to call them. And then obviously if they don't answer, text them. Like, what do you say?
So I usually don't even call it cosmetology. I call it hair, because some people don't really know what cosmetology is, right? So I see you're interested in makeup. That's amazing. I talk about our hair programs. Are you saying they clicked both of them or just makeup?
No, they clicked makeup. So what are you asking them? Have you considered hair?
Oh,
or
absolutely.
What is it that you love about makeup?
Hair? And I invite them in. And at that point, I tell them about all the things we offer if they're interested in it. And, you know, show them hair, but I'm calling it hair, but I want them to know, you know, have you considered it? Do you know what a cosmetologist does? That's one of my first questions.
Okay.
Do you know? Because sometimes they don't. They're like, oh, that's skincare. Or,
yeah. So my question then with a makeup lead, do you think they're more likely to do an SD program or more likely to do a Cosmo program?
You know, that's like 50.
It could go either way.
It could go either way. So we have to talk about both. And we spend a lot of time on cosmetology because why? Because your owners are probably telling you enroll more cosmetologists, right? So that's why we
programs longer, more money, all that.
Right, yeah. Right. Cosmo. We were there, people. But great point, Jen, esthetician. So, you know, we have licensure programs, you know, one is skincare and one is hair. So showing them everything, it's all just about educating them.
And again, beefing up those programs, right? I think a lot of people have been beefing up their makeup, their skincare program. And now today, for every Cosmo lead, people get 2 SDs and they're like, and y'all know this, if you guys are on this call and you have both, you know, your SD is killing it. You're probably doubling your enrollment for your Cosmo program. Like, you know, SD is killing it across the country.
Well, can I politely disagree with you? Because if they're working with BSD or they're working with Advanced 360 Education, we know how to get them cosmetology enrollment. So I just put that disclaimer there.
I will say that's the thing is you're having to spend money for Cosmo where you don't have to for SD, because people really are kind of walking in off the streets for SD.
Because it's glamorous. You're not, you know, cutting people. You're not standing there cutting hair. You're in the quiet room and you're doing the facial massage and you're doing the Anastasia Beverly Hills.
You know what else it is, Sarah? People have been updating their SD for the last 3 years. They've been adding all these things and they haven't been doing that to Cosmo. Right. It's not new. It's not revamped. Y'all are so good at now we're going to do hydrofacials. Like, we're going to add all this stuff to our SD program. And it's like, of course your SD is killing it. You're constantly adding to it. Right. Don't forget about your Cosmo program over here. Beef it up. People will do it. You just got to beef it up.
And then some advanced skincare in your Cosmo program. I mean,
wow.
Game changer.
There's a good one, Sarah.
You just have to give them value, you know, and you have to stay relevant, Jen. You always talk about relevancy and, you know, you really push me to be my best self with that, but like, you have to be relevant.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, too, if you give them some of those advanced skincare treatments in the Cosmo program, even like a 2-day workshop where everyone's going to learn some of this stuff, you know what that's going to do? That's going to have them come back to be double licensed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is invaluable for that person and for your school. Obviously, double licensure is all around amazing. So if we can beef up, you know, even our Cosmo to try to get them to take a full SD program after, you know, even better.
And offer a scholarship. That's what we did, Jen, right? We would offer an alumni scholarship.
Alum scholarships.
Yeah. So come on back.
Yeah. I love it. This has been fun. This has been a very organic conversation. I hope you all on the call today have received some great tips. I want you guys to take it to the chat. Does anyone have any questions for Sarah or myself? And it can be about this topic or really anything admissions or marketing related. We are experts in all things. I mean, if you want to know
Jen, should we put our emails in the chat or just
Yeah,
go to
do
LinkedIn?
that.
Okay, I'll put
Do
them in.
that. And find us on LinkedIn.
Yes.
Thank you for
Thank
that.
you, Chelsea.
I appreciate Chelsea. I hope some of these tips were helpful for you. I know that you were kind of, so right at the
Chelsea's
beginning, you
great
said it's
though.
hard to
Like
do.
Chelsea's
Yeah.
great. Like you want an admissions director who's going to get the job done. It's Chelsea. I saw
I
Jessica
love
was
it.
on here. Are you still on, Jessica? Hi, Jessica.
And Amanda says my big takeaway is being genuine. Having the program pieces that we can get excited about. Yeah, I really think the more we can walk our admissions through actual education about the programs, like take a day where you say we're going to have a retreat, and it's not going to be about learning, it's not going to be role playing, and it's not going to be like this is the phone scripting.
No.
Right? Like no thanks.
No, right.
No, Sarah and I don't play that way.
No,
But it's going to be about, I want you to be confident in the program you're selling. So we're going to teach you everything that's new that's been added to the program, some of the new things that are going on in the classroom, and hear directly from the educators.
And if you're an admissions rep, or you have a team, make sure your admissions team is getting services. They need to understand what the services are, because then they can properly sell them. So yeah, let them get a free facial, let them get a free haircut or color or deep conditioning, whatever. Admissions needs to know what's going on.
I love that. That's great. This has been fun. Thank you guys for the really great feedback. I'm so excited about our webinar next month. As you all know, BSD webinars are usually closed to BSD members only. This year, we've decided to open up just a couple to everyone. This happens to be one of them. And then next month, it's going to be our last one for the year that we're opening it to everyone. And it's how to turn your website into an organic lead generator. Stop.
Ooh,
yeah, it's going to be
love
good.
it. Juicy.
It's going to be really good, Sarah, because all we do is spend more money, spend more money, spend more money. And it's like, you can actually turn your own website into being more of an organic lead generator. We're going to teach you how to do that. So definitely be looking out for the invitation to sign up for that one. But Sarah, we're going to have you on some more webinars in the future.
So fun. Thank you.
And tell everyone where they can find you. I'm sure you're going to be at some upcoming events.
I am. I'm going to be at ACS. I'm going to be everywhere. So find me there. I put my email in the chat. If you want to, reach out, please do. Would love to work with you or just chat.
Just chat about TikTok and all the things to buy. I think that works. My favorite purchase of Sarah's last year was the ice machine.
So good.
The little tiny pellets, like the Sonic ice.
Sonic ice. Yeah. You know what else TikTok made me buy that I'm obsessed with? Are magnetic lashes.
Oh.
If you're thinking about doing the magnetic lashes, I wear them every day now. They're so easy. Get them.
Love that. Someone just asked if there's a certificate of completion for this webinar. No, we don't offer like actual continuing education credits, but if your own teacher requires it or your own school requires it, definitely reach out to us and we can mock you up one, but that's not something that we generally send to people. Pizza oven for me, of course. Anthony is on dog TikTok. I can't even. He's obsessed with this talking dog named Clarence. It's my new favorite thing. Thank you all. I hope you all have a great day. It's Wednesday, so go make it great. We'll talk to you guys later.